Hey guys, Parfax here, and today we are doing a video all about the money making tips you need to know for Brimstone Sands. All right, let's get started. So today's video is going to touch on the things that you need to know to maybe purchase now and the things you really need to get rid of before the new patch drops. It is supposed to drop on October the 18th, which isn't too long. So I wanted to bring you guys this video that is pretty close to the launch. Now, the PTR is pretty much done. I'm sure we'll get another patch or two, but we've basically seen everything that's on there. And there's actually some major changes that you're going to want to either buy a few items or sell them. First and foremost, we get a new weapon, which means we need to craft it. This always happens every time there's a new weapon. The material for it skyrockets, and it's not just this weapon that's going to affect it, but just note the greatsword is coming in, and that means that Asmodium and refined wood or glittering ebony is going to go up. Now, it has actually started to come down in recent times, at least on my server, and I expect it to go significantly up when this patch drops. Now, if you want to make the case that, well, Parfax, because it's a new weapon, people aren't going to be crafting it a bunch because you're not going to have timeless shards. First off, people are just going to start slapping in like strength or dexterity, maybe con, and then they're going to start rolling them. We do now have runestone stopwatches that are going to really allow us to craft a bunch. I plan on doing that first day. But even if you don't think that it is going to raise because of the greatsword, which it will, we actually got a few new items to craft as well. And that is new legendary tools and new bags. I think I have a bag on me. Yeah, so I have one right here. Now this is purple. You can get them legendary as well. But let's go ahead over here and let's look at what it takes to craft the bag. So you can see what it's going to take, because everybody's going to upgrade their bag. The very worst purple you can make is probably going to be better than the blue that you currently have. Let's type in bag. Actually, I think it's satchel. All right. Yes, we have infused leather adventurer satchel. And these are going to take 25 runic leather, 45 runic leather, 25 phoenix weave, and 10 asmodium, and 1 grand rune of holding. So in order just to craft 3 attempts at the bag, you are going to need an absurd amount of leather, cloth, and metal. And if I know anything from New World players and just players in general, you have to have the absolute best storage or the best bags you possibly can have. People love this kind of stuff, and this is huge. This is such a high amount of actual leather. That's 4.5 days, or if you get lucky, 4 days of cooldowns just for your leather as well. So this is going to go up. Now, with that, with crafting in general, I say buy everything. Buy the asmodium, the phoenix weave, the runic leather, and the glittering ebony, and the rune stones. The rune stones are going to be used in things like the new heart rune gems. Those are a very prevalent resource. Now, originally they were supposed to be 25 per, and now they are only 5, but they're also used in stopwatches, which people use to craft items like the greatsword. So they're using up most of their rune stones in general. I know that I have to craft mine every day and still buy some so that I can have enough for the new heart rune gems. So make sure you stockpile all of these legendaries, Matt. I don't remember a time when you really needed to stockpile so many of the legendary mats, because not only do we have the greatsword coming out, not only do we have the new bags, we have the new tools as well. Now, since we've already touched on the bag, we'll go over here and look at the faction vendor. We really haven't gotten anything from the faction vendor in a long time, but now with the new change, people are going to need to start crafting bags, and there's actually something back here, or I should say over here, that you're going to need to save up your faction tokens for as well. And this is the writs of the adventurer. Now, these are buy none pickup, and I could have maybe made a little small video talking about this in general, but these are also used in upgrading your heart rune gems. So make sure you are getting a bunch of faction tokens because you are absolutely going to need them come next patch. So you're going to need to buy, you know, a few of these Ritz Adventurers. I think some of them even take like 5. And then here it is, the Grand Runes of Holding. They are 7,000 faction tokens and 1,500 coins. These are going to be super, super needed next patch. So maybe start stockpiling a few so you can put them on the trade post whenever this goes live. Or maybe buy a few of them on the trade post because they will for surely go up. Right now on live, we don't have a whole lot of reason to spend our faction tokens. We get a decent chunk every day. But next patch, they are going to go up because we need to craft our absolutely crazy bags. I mean, look at these purples. It is $5.95. This is about as bad as it can get, but you get 4 perks with it. We got luck, loyalty, Tanner's burden, and extra pocket. So it's pretty crazy. These don't have a whole lot of things they can actually roll when it comes to difference in mods. So these are going to be pretty nuts, and people are going to craft these. All right, next, we touched on it very briefly, but we're going to touch on the Heart Rune gems and a few things you should stockpile. Vials of Azoth. This is going to be used in a couple different things, from some of the cooking stuff to the these Heart Rune gems. So you're going to want to stockpile a ton of these. There you see the rune stones we need. So we're going to need to stockpile the rune stones, Azoth vials. There's the Writs of the Adventurer. I just wanted to show you that. Again, rune stones. We then have corrupted lodestones. They're going to be something you definitely need to get a hold of. And these you don't need a ton of. You only need like 15 of them. So, or you might actually need a little bit more of that. I think if I remember correctly, let's go ahead and look. I think the purple ones actually need them as well. Yes, you will need the 5 corrupted lodestones per purple. So you will actually need a bunch of them. And then we will need to get some of the pristine sapphires. These are uncut, so make sure you have a bunch of them laying around. I think you need 60 of those total. We will need thorny vines, and again, Azoth vials. And then feathers, Azoth vials, and saltpeter, Azoth vials. You see here, we need a ton of Azoth vials, so they will definitely go up in price. But saltpeter, feathers, thorny vines, pristine sapphires, corrupted lodestones, a bunch. And then we have Writs of Adventurers, which you can get from the faction vendor. And then again, rune stones are going to be a few things you are going to need for sure. And that is just from the Heart Rune gems. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about, again, we are here at the Forge, but this is all things that take timeless shards, and that is Scarab Crafting. If you didn't know, scarabs are coming to the game, and these are going to be a way to not deterministically get your BIS item, but it's going to be a way for you to craft a 2 perk item, and these are pretty common. Not that you're going to get them all the time, but they actually have a fairly decent drop rate as long as all things don't change. And with them, the only thing that changes, the same material for the weapon, the only thing that changes here are essentially the add-ons. So we need the iron battle metals. We need 25 of them, or whichever attribute modifier you're using. We need 3 timeless shards and a golden scarab. Now, when it comes to the attribute perk, or the modifier here, we only still need to do 1, but we also get up to the Azoth as well. Now, I only have 266 Azoth. Let's go ahead and see how much Azoth we are going to need for it. I believe it's 350. And it is only 150. But you still need 150 Azoth to craft it. Like I said, you're going to need a lot of Azoth come next patch. But these are a lot more deterministic crafts, and people are going to use these like it's going out of style. So timeless shards, if you have anything that you're going to want to craft, you want to make sure you stockpile a bunch of these. And always, 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 anytime we have a crafting influx, attribute modifiers go up. They've been kind of going down on most servers because people aren't crafting nearly as much. They're waiting for the new patch. They're waiting for the new golden scarabs. They're waiting for the greatsword. They're waiting for the bags. They're waiting for everything to come out. So everything is starting to go down. But next patch, everything is going to go up. Every single crafting material that is legendary, attribute modifiers, at least your single stat ones, and actually even the double stat ones that you can turn into the single stat ones are probably going to go up. And then timeless shards are going to go up as well. So keep that in mind whenever you are looking to start purchasing stuff, which you probably should do now, because the closer and closer it gets to launch, the closer or the higher those prices are going to go. But just wait till you see the prices of especially Asmodeum and Glittering Ebony day 1. it's gonna go up. Now we come over here to the stone cutting table because I actually want to talk a little bit about rune glass. These are new gems coming out. Now, all the stuff in here, these new gems, this is going to be something that you're going to want to do in Brimstone, and that is get the stuff for that, which we're not really talking about there. If you want me to put out a video about stuff you need to farm in Brimstone, we can do that. But what we're really looking for here is the increase in price to the gems. Now, we know that the sapphires, they're going to go up because they're used in the crafting, but all of the good gems, considering like things like the thrust gem, the onyx gem, the opal gem, diamond, and malachite, those are all gonna go up. Opal especially, because that one's used in a ton of weapons. But people are gonna start having to recraft all of their gems in their gear for almost every setup, other than PvE. PvE setup's a little bit different. You're really gonna put it in your weapon, but not really your armor, because it's gonna be too expensive. But for all of the PvP gear, your armor, and your weapons, you're going to be putting these rune glasses in there. And in order to do that, you are going to need more gems. Now, I don't expect these to go significantly higher because there will be a little bit of like a tiered system here. You're not going to get a bunch of these right off the bat, but you will get a few chunks of these, and the prices of all the really good ones are actually going to go up. So if you don't have them for your gear, if you don't have a whole handful of them just sitting around, I would make sure you go ahead and put a buy order in for them because they're going to go up next patch. So with Brimstone, we are going to get a few things that are going to change, specifically when it comes to herbs. We look here, so we get a bunch of tarragon, and can we get the other one? Oh, let's see if we can find some more so that I can show you. Oh, we got some more over here. As you can see there, we get garlic as well. Now, before you think that, well, there's not a whole lot out there, maybe it'll be camp, there is a ton of herbs out here. I mean, an absolute massive amount. So, especially tarragon and garlic is going to absolutely plummet. So, make sure you get rid of all of your garlic and tarragon because it is going to be significantly cheaper next patch. Or if it's not, come out here and farm it because you're going to make 20,000 coins an hour or something absolutely crazy like that, because you can just continuously farm out here. And I didn't even look. I literally went to a random waypoint and just started walking around, and you can see here you just get absolutely tons of garlic and tons of tarragon, which are super expensive right now, and they're going to go significantly down next patch because actually, as you can see here, there are so many herbs out here, and they give both those materials, which are going to make them go down significantly. Now, also, when it comes to that, we actually also got a change to our tools. Oh, we actually can't do this. We have a pickaxe here. Let's finish these mobs. So you can see here that every once in a while, when I hit a boulder, I'm going to get a life mote. Now, it's not every single time. It is only every now and again. I find that it's about 30% of the time you will get a mote. But this is meaning that the motes will go down. Now, some people are expecting these to go down such a significant amount. They think they're going to absolutely plummet, and I don't think that. We're going to need more use of them. People are going to have to upgrade their gems more, so people are going to have to go there. And honestly, this is only really going to affect if you're out gathering and you're doing something like hitting rocks, because with it being so you only get one per. When you're out gathering ore and stuff like that, if you're out for an hour, you might get like 20, 30, 40, 50 of them. And honestly, that's just a couple crags. So it's not like you're really getting a ton, but it is going to bring the market down a little bit. I don't think they're going to plummet by any means, because not only is it the fact that you only get a little bit amount of them, that not all of the people are going to get it. And this is going to be a very controversial opinion, but bots aren't going to have this for the most part. So a lot of the resources that get gathered in the game, they're not going to have these tools that actually give them the ability to get motes, at least maybe not for a while. So moats are going to go down for sure. They're not going to plummet like everybody thinks they are, but they're definitely going to go down for sure. And then get rid of your tarragon and garlic. Now, also when it comes to brimstone, we'll just go ahead and bring the chart over here. You can see that it has a ton of platinum. Now, I don't think platinum is going to absolutely tank by any means. It is still something that needs ori. And then you can say, maybe look, well, maybe ori will be cheaper. I don't know if it's going to be cheaper or not. The supply and demand, the demand is still going to be there for ori. More people are going to come back. More people aren't going to want to farm. More people are going to want to do their daily cooldowns. So I can actually see platinum still kind of staying around where it's at. But I just want to take note that there are a decent amount of platinum nodes in here. Now, do remember that most of these nodes are camped, or at least have mobs by them. They didn't put really, they didn't do the ori treatment when they did a bunch of ori nodes and put them kind of by themselves. These do have a decent amount of mobs that are near them for the most part. So they're not going to be able to be camped as well by bots and stuff like that. So this would be a good place for players to go out and get them. But I can see platinum going down a little bit, but it's definitely not going to tank, because if we get the number of players back like we think we will, there'll be a lot more demand for it and no extra supply. So keep that in mind when talking about all these things, because if we get a large player base back and you get thousands of people sitting in queue, this also means there's thousands more players trying to do their daily cooldowns, and there's only a certain amount of materials in the world. So platinum, I believe, will go down a little bit, but not quite as much as I think some people might think. All right, so the next thing we're actually going to talk about here is with the new recipes. If you didn't know, there's new 40 stat recipes coming out, and they all have one thing in common, and that is fish sauce. Now, this fish sauce, you can see here, can be crafted, and it takes 2 fish roe, 2 delicate fish fillets, fish oil, and seasoning blends. Now, I put this in the loser section when it's actually a winner section and a loser section. So this means all of your 40 stat food, we're on live here again. Your sumptuous rabbits is probably the cheapest, right? So let's go down here to consumables. We'll go down here to attribute bonus foods. We'll even go to something like strength. We'll go down to the GNU fish, or whatever you call it. You can see here that it's running about 320 a piece, and it has been going down. And then even something like the roasted rabbit. Let's go down here to it. The roasted rabbit with seasoned vegetables. It's in at 116. Now, next patch, we are going to get 40 stat food that is going to be a lot cheaper. And I can show you that here. Let's go back one more. And you can see here, this is a lot cheaper. These armadillos are all over the place, and you can get a lot of meat really easily. But because of this, the fish sauce is actually going to make it go up. So all that, the 40 stat food right now, if you can get rid of it, get rid of it, especially everything but the con. Now, with the fish sauce, like I said, we are going to need some ingredients. The fish roe is going to be the big thing here. This is going to go up. This also means fishing is going to be more profitable next patch, because you're going to get more fish roe, means more money. It is going pretty crazy on live right now. Let's go ahead and look it up. Fish roe. Oh, I actually have a decent amount of fish roe. I should probably sell it, but fish roe, last time I checked, it was going pretty crazy. Yeah, you can see here, there's 7 available for $64.99, and then basically none after that, because we don't look at this number, because this number is no one's ever going to buy it at that price. So fish roe is definitely going to go up, which means that is going to make those items, kind of valuable still. They're not going to be nearly as valuable as trying to get those legendary fish. So like I said, it's kind of a winner and loser. Stuff like the fish roe and some of that stuff that's used in that is going to go up a little bit, but it is also going to go down. That 40 stat food is definitely going to plummet. Maybe those legendary fish are going to plummet as well, because not that many people use them now. People are probably going to use those 40 stat food more now, but it just means that you're just not going to use those. You're going to use the lot cheaper version. The last thing we have to talk about is actually sort of on the timeless shard change, and that is the fact that you probably should sell your patterns. And the patterns I'm talking about specifically are, if you have any leftover patterns from the summer medley event, there's a high chance that these absolutely plummet. They've actually still continuously go down. Those 599, there's 20 of them. Those are actually mine. They were 800 and some, around like Thursday. they continue to go down. The reason for this is because the scarabs come out, you're gonna be able to craft things a lot easier. These were the easiest way to actually, or the cheapest way to get your best in slot pants. But now they're going to continuously go down because the scarabs are going to be a lot better way of crafting them. So if you have some of this, I probably advise you to get rid of them. Now scarabs become pretty rare. They're not very rare on the PTR. Then maybe this could change, but just note that there's a high chance those go down. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Like always, let me know in the comment section down below if I forgot anything. And if you are just interested, go ahead and look down there and see what people posted, because I'm sure there's probably something that I forgot. And if so, let me know in the comment section down below. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.